Very good evening, friends. So, this is Rahul Magan here, and let's have some Facebook chat. Hi. So, let me open the forum, and I would be sharing my thoughts at the end. You can ask your questions, please. Hello, sir. Hello, everybody. Hello. Yes, you can ask your questions, please. Feel free. That is. Okay. So, I understand that there is a hype in the non-banking financial sector. I do understand that. But having said that, according to the latest research, the non-banking financial corporations is around to be faced the stress asset around 1.5 to 1.8 trillion INR, which is around 7.5% of the AUM, asset under management. Keeping this in mind, to me, it would be very difficult for non-banking financial corporation to continue in 2021. According to another figure, around the stress asset level in India is around 200 billion US dollars. Now, if the stress asset level would continue to rise, then I think it would be very difficult for Indian banking to sustain. That is what I strongly feel so. About Reliance, then I think there are so many news which are coming in Reliance. So many news, like some news are coming about succession planning, some news are coming about the Geo IPO, some news is coming about. There are so many news which are coming about Reliance. But I think Mr. Ambani would be the right person who would be able to answer all this news. Having said that, I think we should wait for the news to come and then analyze the news, and then based upon that news we can take up any action, because the law is very clear. If too much news is coming, then I think it is really difficult to predict. Things go anywhere. We really do not know, to be honest. I think Lakshmi Vilas Bank story is over. Several thousand retail investors lost a huge amount of money. They got not a single penny because of the moratorium. The moratorium, which was shared by RBI without any consultation with the public. And I think that there are many other stocks also who will be follow the same suit, probably this year or maybe next year. We need to understand that if the company is in NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, then I understand that there are many people who buy that stock keeping in this mind that one day this stock would be turned 4 times, 5 times, probably 6 times. But we need to understand that when anyone buy these NBFC stock, they are very clear from the first day that they need to write off the whole equity capital. So investors need to understand these things extremely in detail. But unfortunately, investors do not understand. Well, gold, I think that gold is going two-way, and silver is facing a hype. That is the reason the gold, which is, which supposed to be at 1800, unfortunately it is at 1783 as we speak. And while silver, which is supposed to lose, it is more or less intact, to be honest. I strongly feel that that the hype in the silver would continue, while gold might test 1750. And if gold will test 1750 and institutional investors not came forward to support, or ETF players not came forward to support the gold, then I think big mess is on the card. Then gold might be touching 1700 also. That is something which I see. Well, about Yes Bank, I strongly believe that Yes Bank is doing good. They are giving good profits. and now they are looking for bad bank whereby they can sell their bad loans. But it is easier said than done, at least in the countries like India, when the stress asset level is already $200 billion and rising. But I think Yes Bank, compared to what Rana Kapoor did, Yes Bank did fairly well. But God knows what is there in the cards, because banking is getting extremely competitive. International banks are expanding in India slowly, slowly. Indian banks themselves are getting competitive, like ICICI, Axis, HDFC. They are launching a lot of apps. Till what extent Yes Bank would be able to compete against these big banks? Because one thing Yes Bank need to understand, their capital is not what the capital of HDFC, Axis and ICICI. So that they need to understand. While I don't see that, I don't think that correction is the right word, because I'm a strong believer that if the market is at 51,000, then there is no fundamental which is supporting the market to be at 51,000. Like today, when I was reading newspaper, I got to know that Japanese index, which is Nikkei Times, is around 30,000, 30. And this 30,000 is really a big number, and it is a bubble. How long Indian operators would be able to maintain Sensex at 51,000, that is a big thing. Please be note that Supreme Court is yet to give their judgment on the moratorium case. So we really do not know how and with which context the judgment would come. So, and we cannot guess that also. But having said that, one thing which we really need to understand pretty clearly is that either way, the non-performing assets to come in the books of Indian banks, and this is huge. So we need to be very, very careful. I think Sensex at 51,000 is really huge. I have said multiple times to multiple people that never say that it is the right time to enter into the market or it is not the right time to enter into the market. We need to understand that even if the Indian market is at 51,000, there are many stocks, those who are less than the intrinsic value or those who are closer to intrinsic value. That is more important. So maybe the Sensex may touch 52,000, 53,000, maybe more than that, to be honest. Still, you will have the stocks who are either closer to intrinsic value or they are lesser than intrinsic value. I think as a right investor, you should hit these stocks. Maybe few stocks are away from intrinsic value, you should leave them, but you should know how to handle the stocks at intrinsic value. That is what I always feel. I think I am also a strong believer of the fact that operators can create hype in the market, but they cannot amend the intrinsic value of the stock. This is beyond their jurisdiction. Yes, and the same is the case with the Bank Nifty also, which is around 37,000. Well, I don't know what is pushing Bank Nifty to be at 37,000. 37,000 is really a big number, according to me, to be very honest. I don't know about lockdown. I'm not sure. It is the Maharashtra government who would be taking a call on the lockdown. We are no one to take the call. If the Maharashtra government feels that there is a need for lockdown, they will definitely go ahead. If they feel that there is no need for lockdown, they will not go ahead, or they will simply issue advisory to the citizens of Mumbai. But having said that, if Maharashtra government Thackeray Saab will feel that there is a need to go for lockdown, then I think this might get replicated in other Indian states also. And it's a serious concern. Because if Maharashtra government feels that there is a need for lockdown, it means there is a need for lockdown, which precisely means that other states in India can replicate that. Well, it is too early to say. But if this happens, then this may end up as a most probable reason to have a big fall in the market. But I think it is too early to say. Let Maharashtra government take up a call. Maybe in another week or so they will take up a call. But if the situation worsens, which according to the public statement, like around 5,000 plus new cases came in Maharashtra, then situation is little tricky. It may impact the market also. We need to be very alert. I don't think that pharmaceutical sector is the right time to bet right now. Although it is very is early to say that coronavirus is done. I don't think coronavirus is done. This is my personal feeling, but I am no one to say that coronavirus is done across the globe. London is still facing the lockdown. Israel and multiple countries are facing the lockdown. I don't think it is the right time to take a position in the pharmaceutical sector, and especially when 90% of the pharmaceutical stock are away from intrinsic value. This is really a very tricky call. I think it's a waste of money, I would say, to be honest. I don't go ahead to take any position in the pharmaceutical sector now. Yes, at the same point of time, I would like to say that we really do not know. God forbid another virus is coming, any other calamity is coming, another parasite is coming. No one understands that. No one knew about this. But keeping the current situation in mind, keeping the current information in the public in mind, I think buying pharmaceutical stock is a pretty risky bet, waste of money. Rest is definitely your call. Well, the view on the mutual funds is to be taken by our mutual fund desk, and let it be honest that there are few good mutual fund houses we have in India. There are many non-good mutual fund houses we have in India. Well, about USD INR, I feel that currently we are at around 72.65 with the 1 year onshore offshore of around 80 paisa. Not bad. 80 paisa is definitely not bad. I feel that 72.50 may end up with a good buying level, keeping a strict stop loss in place. That's it. I think rupee is very well managed by RBI. By my definition of the well managed is not a good job. It means that they made rupee a crawling currency, which is really bad for the countries like India, especially the non-deliverable market. I think, but still keeping current backdrop, 72.50 may end up a good level to buy. Well, there are talks that government is looking to have 4G spectrum, and there are talks that all three Jio, Airtel, and Vodafone are going ahead to buy that 4G. While Jio is not short of money, Airtel is okay, but Vodafone having some issues with money. But having said that, in the last few months, Vodafone really performed well. That is something which I need to appreciate about Vodafone, because few months ago, people were simply talking that Vodafone is about to close, but Vodafone did tremendously well, to be honest. Having said that, if Vodafone would be able to have a 4G spectrum, assuming they are having 100 units of spectrum, and they would have another 50 units, just taking hypothetical example, total 150, then this would definitely add up value to Vodafone. But once again, the money is the key. They need White Knight who will come and support them. I really don't know who would be that White Knight, in what conditions he would be supporting Vodafone. I really do not know. So no comment, guys. But yes, personally speaking, I am bullish on Vodafone. I strongly feel that personally that Vodafone is in very strong position to overcome all the obstacles and at the end of the day do very well. That's my opinion about Vodafone. Well, engineering sector looks rosy as always, to be honest, but I really don't think that engineering sector we can take call now. Fundamentally speaking, economy is yet to overcome from the COVID, to be honest. Taking a call in the engineering sector is too much. I think it's really too much, to be honest. Less is definitely a call. Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, made some changes in the IPO guidelines, specifically to LIC. I don't appreciate that, but they did. I think LIC, there are many repercussions of LIC IPO. I wanted to short a video, but I don't have time. I hope I will get some time and I short the video about LIC IPO, but I think the LIC IPO is having many repercussions. Maybe the government might end up receiving 100,000 crores from the LIC, but this 100,000 crores is having many negative repercussions. Like take my example, if LIC will the day LIC IPO will come, I am going to be surrendering my policies with the LIC because it's no more a government company. It's more or less in the hands of the private people. I would be surrendering my policies because I don't trust whether my payment would be refunded or not, to be honest. So I don't think that it maybe the government will get 100,000 crores from LIC, but as I said, there are many negative repercussions about LIC IPO. The first repercussion is the valuation. LIC as a role of domestic institutional investors. If I get some time, I will definitely shot a video about LIC and let you know some. That is. I'm sorry, we don't track this company, Haranba Industries IPO. We don't invest in all IPOs. In fact, we not invested in Railtel also. We did invested in IRFC, but not invested in Railtel also, to be honest. As I said, we not invested in Railtel IPO. Let it get list and then we will see whether we can buy or not. Like Burger King got a huge hype. And you know where it is right now. So I'm not sure, maybe Realtel will also get a hype. Who knows, to be honest. About Tesla is a big hype and Elon Musk himself is a big hype. That's more important thing. Elon Musk giving hype to the cryptocurrencies and end result the Tesla is growing. If you look at last 10 years of Tesla, you will get to know how many times Tesla end up as a profit. And most important thing that many car companies of the globe like Ford, General Motors, in India also, they are looking forward to have electric vehicles. If more and more automobile companies will have electric vehicles, then I think the monopoly of the Tesla on electric vehicles will over soon. And we should not forget that Ford, General Motors and all these companies, they are having big firepower compared to Tesla. I'm not bullish on Tesla as well as Elon Musk because I think that he's the kind of person who loves giving hype to the people, and the way he gives hype is something I really don't like it. He don't talk fundamental things. He gives hype like Dogecoin, a cryptocurrency, he gave the hype to that currency. It's a kind of front running he's running. I think so. I already answered Bitcoin in terms of Elon Musk, so I don't think I need to answer it again. Okay, the last one or two questions which you can ask. Suzlon is really in NCLT facing lot of issues, and I don't think it is the right time to take a call on Suzlon. Rest is definitely your call, sir. I will not go ahead to take a call on Suzlon, to be honest. About Punjab National Bank, and I think Punjab National Bank is really a good bank. Of course, the non-performing asset is definitely an issue for all Indian public sector banks. But having said that, Punjab National Bank is really a good bank. But more important thing to see that whether Punjab National Bank would be able to hold the non-performing asset tsunami which is on the way. If Punjab National Bank would be able to hold this, then it is definitely good. But if they not been able to hold this, then it is not. Well, about Balaji, Aminis, I think it's really expensive, sir. Well, to be honest, expensive definition is not that we cannot buy, to be honest. Expensive definition is that it is really expensive. I think that it is way beyond the intrinsic value. Way beyond the intrinsic value. And I think that why should I buy a stock which is way beyond? I'm not saying the company is good or bad. Company is definitely good and looking more good, but it is way beyond intrinsic value. And and as an individual, I never like to buy any stock which is way beyond the intrinsic value, to be honest. It's not about Balaji, maybe any company in the world, any company, India or US, any company, I will not buy if it is away from intrinsic value. That's my theory, straight. You know, this is the last 2 3 questions I'm taking, and then I need to wind up. Market view, I don't think, see, I have told many times to many people that I never see market from the numbers. You see market from the numbers like 51,000, maybe 40,000, whatever. That is your way of looking. What I always see in the market is that whether I am getting a stock which is real, which is, you know, which is closer to intrinsic value or not. If I'm getting a stock which is closer to intrinsic value, I will definitely go ahead with that. So to me, even if Sensex will touch 65,000, and the stocks are less than intrinsic value, then market is bearish. Bullish and bearish definition I have given to Hindi media. To me, if you are, if you are closer to intrinsic value, I buy you. If you are not closer to intrinsic value, I will not buy you. As simple as that. My viewpoint is very simple. And I have already stated many times that even although I don't compare myself with anyone, but even Mr. Buffett, Warren Buffett also said number of times that intrinsic value play a very important role. And on various fronts, I disregard him, but at least few fronts, he is technically correct. No doubt about that. Well, Reliance, I have made very clear that there are so many news which are coming about Reliance. And I don't know which one is correct, which one is not. I think Mr. Ambani is the right person to answer all the news. Having said that, it's not about Reliance. If any stock is getting too much news, then I think as a professional investor, you should away from that stock because you do not know what would happen. Let Mr. Ambani came in public domain and give his judgment about the various news, which one is right, which one is not, then we can take up an action. But having said that, when too much news is right now, and taking a call on the Reliance is really tough, to be honest. At least to me. Maybe the rest is definitely your call. You are the best judge. About silver, I have already said that. That silver is a hype. The apps like Reddit and Robinhood and many apps in US are creating too much hype. The gold may end up at 1750. If yes, then the gold may came to 1700. Silver is still maintaining a very good hype, and maybe silver is trying to reach to 28 without any fundamental. But if silver will reach to 28, then it's a clear signal of selling. But having said that, we need to review the holistic situation once silver will reach to 28. While exchange traded fund in US also getting a lot of money in silver versus they are not getting in the gold, that's the biggest problem to me, and that is something I always feel frustrated that how come this is happening, but unfortunately this is there. This is how. Well, today I was reviewing newspaper and I got to know that the government made some changes in the laws which will make the bank privatization conducive. I don't know whether the government would be in a situation to make some changes or not, considering the political equation like farmers protest and all these things which is happening. But yes, the government set up a huge target for themselves, which is 1.75 trillion for the privatization, disinvestment, non-debt capital received, and I think 1.75 trillion is really a huge amount set up by the government. It's really a huge amount set up by the government, to be honest. And till what extent the government would be able to privatize the bank, that is also very tough, because bank unions came in public domain. Bank unions have a lot of issues, job cuts, and there are so many things. So we need to wait and watch. I think, and government made it very clear that they would love to disinvest 4 public sector banks, but saying and doing are 2 different things. It is easier said than done, to be honest. So let's see. We need to review each and everything very carefully. And I think that is the reason why on the Friday we saw the public sector banks sudden fall. Maybe on Monday we will this situation will replicate, the public sector banks will fall. We really do not know, but we need to be alert and we need to be honest, to be very honest. Last but not the least, I'm sorry that NG and crude I cannot share in the public domain, sir. Sorry for that. But if you check Google, you will get to know that a few things about NG and crude. This is the last question. If you have any other question, you can ask. This is the last one. Yeah. Well, in the power sector, I think it is really difficult. See, power is the lifeline of humanity. No one can live without power. And India is not an exception, let it be honest. Now, having said that, Indian power sector is facing a lot of issues. Number one is, the transmission and distribution losses, cash flow is an issue. There are so many issues for power sector, subsidy, discom, and so many issues, to be honest. Having said that, if somebody asks me to take a call in the power sector, then I'm really surprised, because I don't expect power sector to be double, triple in another few years, because there is a hell lot of issues. Well, COVID-19 came in 2019. Even before 2019, the power sector were facing hell lot of issues. I don't expect a sudden boom in the Indian power sector. Government also do not have the money to pump in the power sector. That is another problem, because government understand that even if you pump the money, you are just postponing the problem, but you're not fixing the problem. Given and considering that, I really don't think that, and personally speaking, I will not go ahead in the power sector. Let it be honest. That's also a fact. This is end for the day, and see you tomorrow probably. Thank you very much. In case you need any information about our products, video training, groups, and anything, you can WhatsApp my personal number +91 9899 242 978, which is +91 9899 242 978. Before I leave, I would like to let people know very clearly that, guys, please be alert, because the markets can go in any direction. COVID is not yet over. Of course, we are careless. That is our problem. COVID is not yet over. We need to be very careful in that regards. I know that the market is at 51,000, and many intelligent people in the media feels that market can even go to 60,000. I understand completely. But having said that, we clearly need to understand that if there is a crash which will come in the market, then this is not going to be easy to handle. Keep this in mind, guys. That is the most important thing which we need to understand. Please be alert, please be proactive, and more importantly, do research before follow the stocks. Hindi media is definitely ready to give any hype as possible. That's what my request is. Thank you very much, and have a great day ahead. Have a good time.